Welcome to episode 7, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Drive-By Lessons series. And for this episode today, I'm going to be looking at the deadliest martial art that you can possibly learn. Now, this is a question that came to me through our Facebook page. Somebody asked me the question a while back, what is the deadliest martial art? And I want to answer that question now. What is my opinion about the deadliest martial art? Now, that being said, very, very interesting question, and that's not the first time I got that question. I've gotten that question several times over the years, and I've answered that question several times over the years. And my answer has always been consistently the same. Any martial art that you have, that you learn, where your intention is to knock somebody else the fuck out, is a quality martial art, and it will work, regardless of what the name is. If it's judo, or it's karate, or it's silat, or it's kali, or anything, doesn't make any difference. Boxing, whatever you want to do, it doesn't matter what it is. If your intention is to knock somebody out, or to kill somebody, to fight with somebody, to be violent and use violence against another person, regardless of what system you've got, you're going to be able to make it work. Now, I give you two very good examples. I know a judo player in Canada who is, he's a gangster judo player. He's really, really tough, vicious individual, and all he trains is judo and street fights. That's it. And he's a gangster, but he's a judo gangster, and he's really, really good at judo. But he just happens to be in a business where he uses his judo against other people all the time. And it's very useful, and he throws people through windows and shit, and he's a really violent individual, and he's very good at what he does. He collects money from people. So he's a judo player, and he never learned anything else and doesn't care about anything else. He just uses that, and with his street experience, couples it together. He's extremely violent. I also got a notification a couple of years ago from a police officer in the United States that they raided a biker gang house or clubhouse or whatever the hell these guys are hanging out in. I don't know. I'm not so close with bikers. And they found my old CDs that I used to sell some years back. I used to sell CDs, training CDs and stuff like that. This was like 15, 16, 17, 18 years ago. And they found these things a long time ago. I mean, this call came, his notification call came in a long time ago. I mean, it's not a recent thing. And they found these CDs in the guy's place, and they were training my stuff. Basically, the biker gang guys were training my stuff. And the cop notified me of this, and I was like, all right, okay, interesting. And that just goes to show you that it doesn't matter what your background is. It doesn't matter if you have what your training level is, what your background is for anything in martial arts, etc., etc. It doesn't make any difference. If your intention is to knock people down and to kill people and to hurt people, any martial art that you learn, and regardless of who you are, your background, your size, whatever, you're going to be able to hurt people regardless. So that's the deadliest martial art, the one that you actually have and are committed to use with aggressively. That's the best martial art. Now, that's the first part of my answer. The second part of my answer is, if I had to choose any kind of system which I consider to be a standard system, which is the deadliest martial art, I would say it's Pencak Silat. And that's not because I practice Pencak Silat. I mean, I love Pencak Silat. It's been 20 years since I've been doing this. So I love it and I promote it all the time, but I don't promote it blindly and mindlessly. I don't promote anything blindly and mindlessly. I promote it because there are certain things within the system which I believe are better than every other system on this planet. And I'm going to give you an example now. When you buy a gun, you look at the gun and you say to yourself, I'm getting reliability, I'm getting quality, I'm getting shooting accuracy, I'm getting all of these different things when you buy that gun in the package, right? You buy it, you take it out of the package, and you expect to have a certain standard of quality when you take that gun out of the package. Nobody goes to the store, buys a gun, and says, you know what, this gun's really shitty, but I'm gonna add on this kit, and I'm gonna put on that extra clip, and I got these sights that I'm gonna add on it from that company ABC over there, and then the gun's gonna be awesome. Nobody goes into a shop to buy a gun like that. The same thing when you go to look at a martial art. You don't look at a martial art like that. You don't say, well, you know what, if I do this anomaly over there that instructor is doing, and I do that thing that the other instructor is doing in that martial art over there, maybe it's gonna be good then for me, and it's gonna be an awesome system. No, it's not. It's still gonna be shit. But you are gonna be, as an individual, pretty good because you took the time in order to learn many different things. But out of the box, if you look at Pencak Silat compared to Wado Ryu, okay? Wado Ryu Karate. If you look at Pencak Silat in comparison to Sistema, if you look at Pencak Silat in comparison to Krav Maga, if you look at Pencak Silat in comparison to, what's it called there? I should say Pencak Silat and Kali, because both of them, Kali is derived from Pencak Silat, and they're both very, very close in the way that they approach combatives, training. So, if you look at Pencak Silat and Kali and you put those two things and you put them side by side with most of the other systems, boxing, etc., whatever you got, MMA training, BJJ, etc., you put them side by side, you'll notice something that Pencak Silat has got. Out of the box, you've got incredible body culture. You've got incredible body culture. Number two, you have weapons which are very, very simple to use and which are accessible everywhere. You usually learn how to use a knife, you learn how to use a machete. A lot of modern instructors like myself, we focus on firearms work also. So you're getting improvised weapons. So really, you're getting a very, very good, fast, technically sound package of weapons work, which you're going to be looking at. Then you look at Pencak Silat and you say to yourself, okay, now what do the combatives look like? The close quarter combatives in Pencak Silat, they might not, for the standard system that you can pick up any system, for example, Silat Lincah. Let's take Silat Lincah for an example. It's a Malaysian Silat system, Silat Lincah. You just grab Silat Lincah and you say to yourself, grab any student from Silat Lincah and take a look at what they can do. You will find that that student will have an understanding of combatives, understanding of weapons, understanding of how to fight in a real situation more than most other students on this planet, especially if you're looking at Japanese and Chinese martial arts, which are really, really, really gone far away from street combatives and become very, very esoteric these days. So I would say the closest that you could probably find to the terms of quality is maybe something like for example, in Krav Maga, some self-defense work or something like that would be closest. But Krav Maga as a system, I personally dislike it because I find it has no feeling towards it. It's a set of techniques. It's endless techniques over and over and over. But the whole system and feeling and warrior culture and mentality and fluidity of movement and all of those things, they don't have that because the system is relatively new and it was thrown together relatively quickly for a military kind of paramilitary kind of environment. So it doesn't have that yet. Maybe it will in the future, but it doesn't have it yet from what I have seen of it. So I prefer Kali and I prefer Silat because it has all of those things already. It's developed over a long period of time. It's a matured cheese. Okay, so it has a totally different flavor than something that has been thrown together very, very quickly. And a lot of systems that you see nowadays, more modern systems, they're thrown together very quickly. And there's not a lot of thought process behind it. It's just a lot of techniques that are put together in order to sell a program, for example, or a seminar, etc. So I think Pencak Silat in totality, any Pencak Silat system that you just happen to jump off to, the standard is going to be decent enough for you to be able to survive problem situations, and you're going to get functional combatives and functional weapon skills very, very quickly within a year's time. Whereas in most other martial arts, I cannot say that. It's not possible to say that. Either they're going to teach you outdated weapons or they're going to teach you some very outdated combatives methods which are not going to work, and they know it's not going to work, but they're continuing the tradition, quote unquote, which I've heard many instructors say even after I've knocked them down. And it's just mindless, you know. It's really, really mindlessly following the system and the traditions. So in Pencak Silat, you wouldn't see that kind of thing very often. You will have a standard where everybody can have a decent amount of skill to fight, a decent amount of skill in order to think and get things done in real time and in real situations. So that's my personal opinion, and that's been my experience over the years and what I've seen from instructors around the world. And that's my 2 cents. So you can take it to the bank, and if you disagree with me, just hit me up in the comments, and I'm more than happy to discuss it with you, and I'd love to hear different opinions about it. So just comment in the section there. Let me know what you think. Okay, and I'll see you all next week. Take care, guys.
You street.